Hey, what are you good at? Let's get better. Come on, let's go. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, part of a bipolar perspective, presented to you by Noir Apologia Gaming. Now, we've filled up your house with hope, so far. Now, it's not something I want to say something, and I am getting better at these videos, but I did miss something kind of big. These are steps, like it's more like a hill than steps even, and I say that because check this out. You're going to be doing this as you're going along, so you're going to be moving along, and you're going to be like, okay, well, I'm cleaning my house, so when do I stop cleaning my house? You don't ever stop cleaning your house. You don't ever stop filling it up. You see how this works? It's more like a cake. You're layering it. All right, but they are steps. Okay, that's why I call them steps. It's just easier that way. But the truth is, as you're filling up your house with all this hope, you need some action. We need to do some action now. Okay. So the next process, the next step is what? What do you think? Do something inside your box. What I mean is, if you're good at singing, sing. If you're good at talking, not too much. Thanks, Mrs. Peterson. If you're good at talking, talk. If you're good at whatever you do at your job, get better. Just get better at what you're doing. All right? You're better at what you're doing. Now, that's, again, one of those things where Daryl's got it all figured out. That's, on this one, maybe. You could almost say I do. But it's a little more complicated than that. And this one isn't actually going to be a very long video at all, because you should know what I'll get to that in a second. It just reminded me of something that I have to make sure I mention. But if you know what you're good at, just get better. That's very simple. Just do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. Okay? Do that until you have enough confidence to go, you know what? I'm a good singer. And that's a catalyst, actually. When there's well, go outside your box. You can't go outside your box until you get good at what's inside your box. Okay? That's the next video anyway. But something I want to say this. I knew who I was, but I had forgotten. Life had, and my decision makings and everything else had brought me to a point where I didn't think I had any of that anymore. I didn't think I had anything to offer anyone. So maybe that's where you're at. But there's also another possibility that maybe you don't know it all. That you have always done what you're told and not what you want to. And you can live your life like that, and you can have a successful life like that. You also, there's successful people that have killed themselves and are very successful. Robin Williams, Kurt Cobain, people like that. Most recently, what is his name? Chris Cornell. I think that's a sad story. Chris Cornell, you talk about successful. Soundgarden, really? And he got done with the performance. Less than an hour later, he hung himself. Success alone is not going to help you with what I'm talking about. Because you may be strong enough to get through your depression, get through it, not deal with it, and still have such a great talent that you could overcome and have this perception from other people that, oh well, and only the people that are close to you know that you've been depressed all your life. That happened to Chris Cornell. I listen to a lot of Soundgarden. I listen to all sorts of music, to all sorts of types. I mean, literally, YG and Drake and Soundgarden. And if you listen to his songs, he was begging for help the whole time. I've never seen a man talk about killing themselves or someone else killing themselves more than he did. It's eerie to say the least. And just keep singing. That alone is not going to help you. So if you've always been one of these people that just does what you're told, because I've got a family and I've got kids, and I'm not going to quit my job. I'm not asking you to quit your job, man, or chica. I'm not. What I am saying is, can you tell me honestly, in your heart, that you're a happy person with your wife and your kids and the way you feel? It almost sucks the joy out of being with your significant other or being with your kids. So you can't quite enjoy fully the experience. So they grow up and they leave the house, and now you have no one but your wife or your husband. A lot of divorces happen after that, and people don't know why it happens. It's like, oh, the kids, because they never talked. They never had a conversation. Having a conversation is so important. Talking to people, that's part of what you're also supposed to be doing, is venting and getting advice. And this is after the original step of cleaning your house. Part of your progress is going to be getting advice. And my advice to you, if you're one of those people who does not know what they're actually good at, and you might be good at the job you are, but examine why you are. And I'm not going to get into it now because that is literally the next video. And then figure out, can I do something like this but be happy doing it? Like, I'm okay doing it. Some people do fall into jobs that they love. They do. Even if they just go to college and do that thing because their mom and dad paid for it or whatever. Yeah, there's lots of people who fall in love with their jobs. But truly, if you're a person that has regret over maybe a college, maybe you failed at college and you're good at something, you just don't know how to market it. You don't know how to get it done. Well, that's why these videos are for you, because we're going to discover it together. You don't have to do this by yourself. Oh no. Yeah. I tell my business partner all the time, and he's already given me permission to talk about stuff, so he's going through hell right now. I'm just not even going to lie to you. It is almost July, a few days from now, and he's in the hospital, and he's going to have a heart procedure Monday, and he's overweight, and he has the greatest voice I've ever heard. I don't care about you announcers. He just is untrained. That's all. He's just untrained. He's never, because he was told all his life he was nothing. He doesn't know what even his voice, he just never saw it. He just never looked at it like that. Even though his voice has always been there. Job didn't give him that voice. Depends on if you're an atheist or not. But if you're an atheist, evolution gave him that voice. Or if you're a Christian, God gave him that voice. Either way, it doesn't matter. He never refined it, and he was never told. He's got CP too on top of it. You talk about a fighter. So people always looked at his CP and never heard his voice. That's my business partner, and I'm so proud of him because he is starting to change now, and he'll attest to. Now, obviously, he can't right now. He's in the hospital, but he will attest to what I'm telling you. This works. He's already starting to believe in himself, and he never did bad things like me. I mean, he smokes cigarettes, but he doesn't drink. He's never drank. He's never done drugs, and I told you, I met him almost 21 years ago in a homeless shelter. We were homeless together, and we've separated a few times, and I had our experiences separately, but we always tend to find each other and give each other knowledge. And he's always kind of, even though he's a couple months older than me, he's basically my age, and he's always kind of looked up to me, and he never realized how many problems that I had. Not really. I mean, he knew I had bipolar and stuff, but he didn't know what I went through. And what's so sad is I've learned more about that man since he's been staying here, in the last year, than I have ever learned about him in 21 of them. Because you're not supposed to talk about that stuff when you're on the streets, It makes you seem weak. That's what society will tell you. Society will tell you, don't talk about your emotions because, see, I'm not allowed to feel, for example. Once people find out I have bipolar disorder, and then then the first question out of their mouth is, "Are you on meds?" It's every time. I can count on that question coming every time. And the question is, and then I ask, "Yep, Excedrin." I mean, I don't know how to answer that. And then I'm not allowed to have any emotions. So if I get happy, it's a manic high. If I get sad for any reason, it's depression. If I get excited, it's a really bad manic high. So even though it could be Christmas and I could have just gotten the greatest gift I've ever gotten, I'm not allowed to have emotion, especially like around certain people. They can't handle it because in their mind they have such a warped viewpoint of mental disorder, which is the absolute umbrella main reason why I want this business to work. Because I think the ignorance propagates this lie that like we're so crazy that we can't do anything without meds. I can't stand it. It's wrong. It's wrong how normal people treat us. Everybody talks about racism and these kind of things, but I read a tweet today about BLM, and I'm not going to get into my political opinions, but basically what irritates me about that whole thing is it great. The number one question that I've ever seen on Twitter or Facebook or anywhere is are you afraid for your life when you get stopped by the cops? Yes. Yes. Does that answer your question? It's not because of this. It's because of this. So I have my different reasons. It's prejudice is wrong in every way. It divides people, and it's just like people that and I talk about mental disorder a lot because that's really what I know about. And even though I have been to jail, like I said last week, I don't know about prison, so I don't know what it's like to be in prison for 20 years. So I can't know what you have been through unless you talk to me about that. I can have an idea, but better than people that have never been in jail at all. But think about a person that's been in prison. They paid their dues. They are actually a different person, and the second they get out, all that negativity is back, and now their family, their friends are watching them, and maybe some of their friends are like, maybe friends that didn't get caught, that haven't changed their life, are trying to pull him back in. Now he's afraid because he had a confident attitude when he walked out of prison, and he tries to get a job, and they tell him, "No, we're not going to hire. We don't hire criminals." So, whatever he may be good at, or she may be good at, she can't do anymore because guess what? She made a mistake. Maybe a few of them. Maybe quite a few of them. I'm not saying that I'm not giving an excuse for people. I'm telling you that once you've paid your dues, why does it still feel like that people that come out of jail or prison are still in jail or prison? You know, I've heard from lots of people that, like, probation, even if it's just probation and not parole, if you've been in jail and you're on probation is set up for you to fail. Why does the government feel like it's okay to do that to somebody? And why do people feel like it's okay that's okay? That's not okay. And for a society that says don't judge, you sure are judgmental. You know? That's why you get good at what you're good at. You get better at what you're good at. That actually did not make sense at all. You get better at what you're good at. So that there is no static. So people are going, well, he's being productive inside his box. He's doing what he does, or she does. And we can't really judge him or her because they've not done that thing again. So you stop that kind of stuff eventually, not at first. All right. Now, the next video is going to be pretty much a link to this one, because once you get really good at something, you're going to get bored because you're good at it. What's next? The question you should always be asking yourself is, what's next? What's next? Stay tuned. May the Lord of Light bless you in all things. Goodbye. I had bipolar disorder and PTSD, and I was in that position. I was a broken man 15 years ago, and I fixed my life. And everybody talks about changing this world, and so forth and so on, and everybody talks and talks and talks. They never do anything about it. Well, here I am. I'm going to do something about it. I'm tired of the misconceptions about mental disorder. I'm tired of the directions that some people try to give to people with real problems in life. Really examine your life. Want to without knowledge is ignorance. If you don't know what it's going to take, if you don't know why you're doing things, why you want to change your life, there is no there's no point to it. I want to create desire in you to change your life, especially if you have been abused, if you have been told all your life you're a loser. You should examine why that is. I was a loser. You understand? Like 15 years ago, I really was. You do need advice. You can't have just one set of eyes on your life. You have to have perspective, and you might not want to hear it. Do you think I wanted to hear that I was a loser? I didn't even want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. That's why I drank so much. Good Lord, I was an alcoholic because of it. I didn't want to deal with life. So check this out. Like, I didn't believe in myself. I hid myself for so long. I don't want other people feeling like that. I know what it feels like to be you. I really do. But you don't have to be.